Welcome to Concrete Block, your daily dose of in-depth analysis and discussion on the most pressing issues of our time. I'm your host, Walter, and we're glad you're joining us today. As we dive into the world of international politics and social change, we'll be exploring a fascinating story that's been unfolding in Colombia. Recently, the Colombian government, led by President Gustavo Petro, has been making waves with its radical new approach to combating the cocaine trade. The plan involves pouring money into rural communities to address the root causes of the drug trade, rather than relying solely on military action. This shift in strategy has sparked both interest and controversy, with some hailing it as a bold step towards a more humane and effective solution, while others express skepticism about its potential impact. At the heart of this debate is the complex web of relationships between Colombia, the United States, and other international players. The U.S. has long been a key partner in Colombia's anti-drug efforts, providing significant funding and support for military operations against cocaine traffickers. However, the Petro administration's new approach has raised questions about the future of this partnership and the potential implications for regional security. As we explore this story further, we'll be examining the nuances of Colombia's drug policy, the role of international cooperation, and the challenges that lie ahead. We'll hear from experts and stakeholders on all sides of the issue, seeking to provide a balanced and informed perspective on this critical topic. One of the key developments in this story is the recent establishment of a UN review panel tasked with re-evaluating the global drug control system. This move has been hailed as a major breakthrough by some, who see it as an opportunity to reassess the effectiveness of current policies and explore new approaches to addressing the drug trade. However, others are more cautious, noting that any significant changes will require careful consideration and cooperation among nations with differing interests and priorities. As we delve deeper into this complex issue, we'll be considering the perspectives of various countries, including Colombia, the United States, and European nations like the Netherlands and Portugal. We'll also examine the role of international organizations, such as the UN, in shaping global drug policy and facilitating cooperation among nations. With so much at stake, it's clear that this story will continue to unfold in interesting and unpredictable ways. Will Colombia's new approach to combating cocaine prove effective, or will it face significant challenges and setbacks? How will the international community respond to the UN review panel's findings, and what implications might this have for global drug policy? We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block. We're diving into a crucial topic that affects businesses and employees alike. Today, we're discussing the importance of understanding union drives and their potential impact on companies. In a recent article by Howard Levitt, senior partner of Levitt LLP Employment and Labor Lawyers, it's highlighted that union drives can be swift and stealthy, often catching employers off guard. According to Levitt, the process from application to certification can happen in as little as a week, leaving businesses with limited time to respond. Levitt emphasizes that creating a contented workplace is key to preventing unionization. This includes recognizing employee contributions, providing fair pay and benefits, and fostering open communication. By doing so, employers can reduce the likelihood of employees seeking external representation. However, it's also important to acknowledge the role of unions in protecting workers' rights and promoting fair labor practices. Unions can provide a collective voice for employees, helping to address concerns and negotiate better working conditions. As Levitt notes, once a union is certified, employers face significant restrictions on their ability to manage their business. This includes limitations on discipline, promotions, and restructuring, as well as the added cost of mandatory dues and potential strikes. To navigate these complexities, employers must be proactive in building positive relationships with their employees and establishing clear communication channels. By doing so, they can reduce the risk of unionization and create a more harmonious work environment. It's essential for businesses to understand the implications of union drives and take steps to prevent them from becoming a reality. This includes training managers, developing response plans, and prioritizing employee satisfaction. As we continue to explore this topic, it's clear that finding a balance between employer and employee interests is crucial. By promoting fair labor practices, fostering open communication, and recognizing the value of collective bargaining, we can work towards creating healthier and more productive workplaces. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block, folks. We're wrapping up today's episode with a look at the latest developments in international trade and diplomacy. As we've been following, tensions between the US and China have been simmering, with both countries imposing tariffs and engaging in a war of words over issues like data security, intellectual property, and fair trade practices. Now, it seems that President Trump and Chinese leader Xi Jinping are set to discuss these issues in a call scheduled for today. The two leaders will likely touch on the fate of TikTok, the popular social media app owned by Chinese company ByteDance, which has been at the center of a heated debate over data privacy and national security concerns. According to reports, U.S. officials have been seeking assurances that TikTok's data and algorithm will be truly in American hands in order to comply with U.S. law. Meanwhile, Chinese officials have expressed concerns about the impact of U.S. tariffs on their economy and have called for a more balanced approach to trade negotiations. It's worth noting that both sides have made some progress in recent talks, with agreements on issues like agricultural purchases and export controls. However, many challenges remain, including the thorny issue of tech export restrictions and the ongoing opioid crisis. As we consider the implications of these developments, it's clear that the U.S.-China trade relationship is complex and multifaceted. While there are valid concerns about data security and fair trade practices, there are also legitimate worries about the impact of tariffs on American farmers and businesses. Ultimately, finding a balance between these competing interests will require careful diplomacy and a willingness to compromise. As we wait to see how the situation unfolds, one thing is certain: the stakes are high, and the outcome will have far-reaching consequences for the global economy. That's all for today's Concrete Block. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay informed.